In this lesson, we are going to learn how you can set up your pay rates. That is how you're going to get paid for your work. So the overview, um, for the overview, every effort should be remunerated. It should be accounted for, and prices are not as standard as you may think, but there is the irreducible minimum. And advanced and unique skills, they tend to be paid more than less advanced and standard ones. And your positioning is your ticket to better pay. Keep that in mind. So, what is the criteria for setting up your pay rates for your skills? Setting up your pay rates as a freelancer or a solopreneur or a business owner involves several important factors. And the first factor is the market rate. So research, what you need to do here is you should research the industry standard for your skill and experience. Comparing, compare your rates in your region and globally. And the best place to start this is from a content marketplace like Upwork and Fiverr, and adjust accordingly. For example, if you are a graphic designer and you want to provide graphic designs either as a service, project based, or a membership, there are always people or businesses doing that already. So what I need you to do is go to Upwork. Don't even don't even sign up for a client or a freelancer profile. Just go there on the search bar, a search a skill or a project that you want to do, depending on what you need to do in the future. And then you will see that uh, there is a price for each, that is how much clients are willing to pay for the work. And then use that as a stepping stone to start your first rates. The second element, the criteria, is the experience and skill level. So more experienced professionals can charge higher rates than less experienced ones. And one factor is specialized skills and certification is that this person has more has spent more time doing what they want, doing what they want to give out to the public, and therefore they can charge more because they have specialized skills and certification for the skills that they have, or for the product they are going to sell or present to the client. And the other criteria is project complexity. So adjust rates based on the complexity, scope, effort required for each project. Despite the current market prices, you should understand that every project every project is different from the other one, and they vary in complexity, scope, and the effort that you are going to require to complete the project. Also, the scope means that you need uh, the amount of work. No, we say timeline. So the scope gives the amount of time that you're going to spend on a project, and you can use the standard rates, minimum wage, and costs that you can factor in the cost of the project, this amount of resources that you're going to use to fulfill the project. Sometimes you need to buy softwares, you need to buy plugins if you are doing a website on one place. And so there's all those costs, they have to be factored in, and therefore project complexity is an important factor to look at. And because they don't want you to go on and have a bad review, or underprice your project and end up making losses. Okay. And the other one is time investment. Calculate the number of hours the project will take, including revisions, based and base your rates on an hourly rate or a fixed project fee. So for the revisions, I recommend make sure that you have at least not at least there's at least 2 revisions and a maximum of 5 revisions, so that the client is satisfied and doesn't feel that they're being robbed. Um, the other one is overhead cost, which includes expenses such as software, equipment, taxes, and insurance to ensure that your rates cover operational costs. And so, since pricing your services correctly is one of the most critical aspects of running a successful solopreneur business. So, if you charge too little, you struggle to make a profit, and if you charge too much, you might scare away potential clients. And so, exploring different pricing models and calculating the rates and having a good strategy for managing your finances effectively is one of the best ways to clearly understand how you can price your services competitively and track your income and expenses in a way that keeps the business profitable at all times. So, you should ensure that your all your projects, the prices are based on value that you're going to deliver, and whether you are going to charge hourly or project based. Value based pricing is one of the best ways to price your services, and it is based on the value or the result that you deliver. And one good example one good example is that uh, the higher earning potential of any project is aligned with the incentives that align with the client's goals. So the more the client wants, the more you're going to charge. So that's how that is the best model that has worked for me. But it requires a lot of confidence and proof of results to pull this up. For example, a marketing consultant, as a marketing consultant, you can charge 5,000, but you can increase, but you have to prove that you can improve the current sales by at least maybe 20%, 10%, according to the proposal that you provided. So the other one is project based. Project based, as we said. So you charge a flat fee for the entire project, and but this rewards only efficiency, and clients prefer predictable costs. However, you might have challenges um, with the scope creep, because expectations won't be clear, and you cannot guarantee the outcome. And the other one, you need to understand your client's budget constraints and negotiate within a range that ensures that the project and the clients remain profitable at all times, and be reasonable for each. So it has to be reasonable for you as the solopreneur, and also reasonable to the client. So uh, when you're calculating your rates, so you have to determine your expenses. So there are fixed costs, and there are also variable costs. For example, software, insurance, and subscriptions to provide the client the services. Those are fixed costs. And marketing, travel, and taxes, those are variable, because they are dependent on how much you make. And so, for example, if your monthly expenses are 2,000, you need to earn at least 2,000 to break even. And therefore, you have to decide the desired income so that you can be able to properly price your projects so that you can remain in the business in the long term. For example, uh, as we have said, maybe if you want to earn 60 in a year, 60 in a year, so you should divide by billable hours. For example, in a year you can work 1,200 hours, uh, and you divide 60,000 by 1,200 hours, and you get $50 an hour. But I don't think hourly is a good strategy. Just uh, just go on with the uh, value based pricing, because it gives you more flexibility, more reasonable outcome, and it is reasonable and ensures profitability for both the client and you. So what can we conclude from this? So payments are not standard. You can use standard minimum rates for any given field depending on your location. For example, um, there are recommended rates for writing gigs if you are going to do freelance writing. So which is at 0.15 per word, which is the lowest rate, to 0.25 per word, which is a standard pay rate. So blog blog articles which are about 500 words can easily be charged at $100 depending on the niche and the type of client as well as your expertise level. For example, more technical areas like IT, they tend to charge more than less technical um, fields like business management, uh, because the person needs to be more knowledgeable, more technical, and has a way of words. So that is double skills. So your level of knowledge and professional positioning can help you upskill your rates faster compared to other routes, which might hurt you and your work in the long run. And therefore, I will leave you by outlining common mistakes that you need to avoid when you are pricing. And one is that you should not underprice your services. For example, if you're charging 20 an hour, uh, or no, if you're charging 50 an hour, you should not charge 20. Okay, so you use the formula to calculate the rates. So you need to have how much you are going to earn, you want to earn, and then divide by the amount of time you're going to spend on that. And then do not ignore cash flow. So don't spend all your income without savings or saving for taxes, because at the end you're going to pay for them. And then the other mistake is not tracking expenses. So for example, you might lose the receipts, miss out on deductions, and the invoicing. Yeah, so you might lose those elements of tracking expenses. So to fix that, you might prefer using an expense tracking apps, or maybe if you are like me, you can use an Excel sheet to do that. Okay, so uh, pricing your services correctly and managing your finances effectively are essential to building a profitable solopreneur business. So by following those strategies that we have discussed, you will ensure that your business remains sustainable and scalable. Okay, so let me leave you at that. Let's meet in the next lesson. Bye bye.